Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
In that case, let's do it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the trying to be better podcast with Joel and Steve.
Are we?
You know, I am trying.
Some days.
I am trying to be better.
How's that going? How's it going?
Well,
you went back to work.
I went back to work, man.
Uh-huh.
And it is like, I was just telling my friend Josh at the meeting I was just at that it feels like.
Is this the Josh I know?
This is the Josh you know.
Oh, cool.
It feels like, as much as it feels like being shot out of a cannon that you didn't agree to, but you totally agreed to it.
You crawled in the cannon.
I crawled in the cannon, but it's like, maybe I'm the only one that feels that way, but maybe I'm that delusional, which is very possible.
Agreed.
But I was like, oh, I mean, it's just been intense.
And well, you've had some, I know just a little one thing that was going on that was a little kind of.
Yeah, it's intense. And yeah, and it's like, I am grateful for spaces like recovery spaces that we've talked about before, where I feel like I can just show up to and not have to be an expert, or not at least have the idea that I am the expert, or that I'm not
just
there to teach.
Just a bozo on the bus.
I'm just another bozo on the bus. Yeah. But that takes some adjusting, because I'm trying to be better.
I work is in session, man. I have had a situation this week that it just kind of baffles logic and reason, and it's all end user related, and just people complaining that their thing. The very, very short and general version of the story is that people were complaining that this critical notification wasn't showing up on the little mobile information devices.
Yeah.
And so we spent an ungodly amount of time and resources and phone calls and wailing of the teeth and wailing and gnashing of the teeth. And it turns out part of the reason why the notifications weren't working is because the users had the notifications turned off on their device.
It's hard to get notifications when that setting is turned off.
Just kind of one of those things where when we realized that was happening, it took a lot for me to be principled in that moment.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because they wasted an insane amount of time and resources, and so it's fine.
I told you before you hit record that going through a thing. Well, okay. Full disclosure, the reason why we didn't have a podcast until now, we record on Sunday, is that a bug flew in Joel's eye while he was riding his damn bicycle.
Why are you referring to yourself in the third person?
Because it just didn't even seem like it actually happened to me.
I see.
A bug flew in my eye while I was riding my bicycle, which has happened dozens of times before.
Sure.
And you kind of just rub it out, and then it's gone, and you're fine. But this one, I think, decided to break apart and get lodged into my eye socket. And like, it was for, the rest of that night, we went out to eat, we rode back home. I was like, had my eye closed, and I'm like, maybe I'll wake up, it'll feel better. It did not feel better on Sunday morning. And Kirsten, bless her heart, pulled the wife card and was like, you don't like your eye, you need to go to the urgent care like now, because I'm like red and like can't open it, and it's just
but
gushing.
Baby, I got a podcast to do.
I got fans, honey. We've got, and plus we had like a really cool guest, and thank you so much to them for being flexible,
very kind and patient.
Yeah, but
I went as far as the emails go.
I went to the urgent care.
Yeah,
and they like had to like peel back my eyelid and scrape it out with a Q-tip and then get these weird little forceps out, and they plucked out parts of bug from my eye socket.
Oh my God.
And it was so gnarly. And then it felt fine. They put some like numbing stuff on drops on there, and they irrigated it.
Yeah.
And I was fine. We went out to eat, and I was like, okay, I think this is better. A couple hours later, I'm like, it's something is still in there. And it was just the irritation. They went back in, they looked, I went back to urgent care. They looked again.
Just the scratched cornea, probably.
Yeah, that didn't help. But I am much better today. Well, in that
clearly.
respect, my eye. My eye is much better today.
I was trying to come up with a way to give you shit, saying, Joel, see how irresponsible it was for you to go enjoy your little bike riding activity and jeopardize our ability to produce content.
I know. I bet there's an insurance policy that I'm
sure there is.
You know?
I guarantee you it costs more than we make off of this podcast. Yeah. There's a 100% chance of that.
Yeah. So sorry, everybody that maybe sets their watch to our Sunday podcast.
There are a few people that I think do, actually, and we love you.
And we love you. I think there are some people that make it a part of their Monday routine.
Although something. I do think that some of our most diehard loyal listeners are kind of in the, we'll get around to it category.
Yeah. Yeah. I avid listener Matt Martinowski, he's about 20 episodes back, and it's funny because he'll like comment like, okay, I just listened to episode whatever, and I'm like, man, that was weeks ago, dude.
We don't. Maybe we should start having like for the record though, I've kept all of our recordings.
That's amazing.
Like the raw files and everything. So that when we do break, think of the marketing bonanza our like first 100 episodes will be.
It'll be behind a $50 paywall at least.
Yeah, or something. What's Marin charging for his archives? Like $10 a month.
When he I used to pay for it because when I got into him, I listened to some contemporaneously, and then I was like, I love this guy. I went back to the beginning and paid for however long it took to get caught up, and then I missed his show.
Well, you introduced me to Marin in like 2013, I think, or 2014. We're coming back from Denver.
Yeah.
Thinky Pain.
Mm-hmm. Well, you bought me his book that he signed.
Oh yeah.
We should have Marin on.
We should reach out to him.
I'll try. I'll give it a shot.
You should. What the hell? I mean, it could happen.
Stranger things.
Absolutely. Yeah. What the hell are we going to talk about?
I'm going through it today, man.
Oh, you're going through it. Let's unpack that.
I'm going to share in a general way.
Okay.
Because it deserves to be shared in a general way. Not because I'm trying to be vague or coy. I said some things in a context recently that on paper are very offensive. I said them in context based on lived experience. I used a phrase and a word that is a lightning rod. Okay. I'm just going to be
very. This just got juicy.
I used it. Yeah. But, and somebody who was there present said, hey, can I take you to the mat on something? And I'm like, sure. And they proceeded to sort of say, hey, that word is super not okay. And, I'm like, whoa, like I felt every fiber of my being want to defend myself. I kind of cranked on it all day. I felt off. I still feel awful. I mean, thank goodness for recovery meetings. The meeting I went to tonight, which is a recovery Dharma meeting, was, meditation, and we talked about judgment and all this stuff. It was very helpful, but this could be a whole can of worms where we could talk about how, you just can't say anything anymore. That's not what I'm saying. I just said something in context referring to the past and my personal past.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did upset somebody around me, and they were able to express that, thank goodness. But I've been taking myself to the woodshed all day about it.
Did you do anything wrong?
I mean, well, that's the thing. Like, I think the defensive part of me wants to say, no, it wasn't the intent wasn't to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on my spiritual practice, intentions do stand for something. They do mean something. My intention was not to hurt, but it certainly is one of those words that is used to hurt others. And so it was really hard. And it's like, I talked to Kirsten about it a little bit, and she was very honest and helpful, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know that I did anything wrong, and I definitely addressed it in the moment. But it's one of those times where it's like I have a really hard time letting that go, especially when I could visibly see that somebody was harmed by my action. My intention wasn't to harm somebody, but like, I don't know that I know I'm being vague on purpose.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, to me, that, I mean, you I mean, I know you well enough to know that I think you're probably capable of using words with the intention to hurt.
Oh yeah.
But I also know that that's not your MO.
No.
And if you were just sharing your experience and that experience, made somebody upset, I don't know that you necessarily need to make amends for that.
Yeah.
I mean, acknowledging, which it sounds like you did, acknowledging in the moment, like, gosh, and maybe you didn't, but it sounds like you received that in a way that was not defensive or.
Yeah. And it was one of those moments too, where, as I look back on the moment, this person, it's really interesting to sort of unpack it or be mindful about it, because this particular person in a group setting was able to say, hey, I need to take you to the mat on what you just said.
Good for them.
Totally.
That's way better than after the meeting, them walking to the parking lot and being like, fuck Joel Egger. I can't believe you said that,
Right. And I'm going to, and this person could cause more, there could be more consequences, I guess, from this. Or
that's always true.
Yeah, that's always true. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, there are always consequences to your actions, and I am responsible for my own actions.
Right.
My intent wasn't to be harmful, but it's like, I noticed that there was that, looking back, there was like a real fork in the road where I could have dug my heels in.
Yep.
And made a huge defensive and looked like a complete ass.
Sure.
But I allowed that person to speak their mind, and it was like, you know what, you're right. Like, I take that in, I honor that, I will that, I don't need to utter that phrase, or I don't need to frame it that way in the future. And
right.
But man, I just go back to that thing over and over again in my head all day. And it's like,
well, now you're just shitting all over yourself.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
And I think I talked to you off mic about something else. And it's like, a couple days ago, where it's like, I do that. I should myself. And I also don't let that go. It's like, I really have a hard time. And it's not like I'm trying to find ways to be right. I'm just like, that's a real slippery slope for me in terms of my anxiety, and like, oh my God, what are they going to tell other people? What are they going to say?
Next thing, you're projecting a conversation that other people are having in a week.
Yeah.
About that incident.
Yeah.
Where you're not faring very well.
Never.
Right. Right.
I mean, some people may have that defect where they always come out on top, and
they're talking about me. It's gonna be great.
I don't know which is better, but I certainly don't have that.
I think that's called narcissism.
Yes.
I think that's what that is.
I mean, but this is self-centered in a different way.
100%.
Like,
thinking less of yourself is not the same as thinking of yourself less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because if it was, I'd be on top of the world.
Yeah. I don't have that. I mean, maybe I'm sure there are people that do. Like you said, narcissists.
I know a handful of them.
It's amazing. Because never in my thinky pain, which is exactly what's happening right now.
Right.
Am I the winner in any scenario? It's always, well, worst case. Right. This is all going down.
It's all going down. So you might as well just burn it proactively.
Well, that is a, after 21 years of continuous sobriety or whatever, it's like, that is there's still that member of the board that's like, what will, you should drink, or you should run away, or you should blow it up.
Yeah. I just run away. and then blow it up.
Blow it up and then run away. Yeah, like, in a blaze of glory with the thing blowing up behind you,
Right. Which is when really, like, in your mind, it's the huge ball of fire and you're riding out victorious. And really what it is a handful of people standing there going, what an asshole.
Yeah, jeez. Well, he had a good run.
I guess.
He could be nice.
And then they look at each other and go, yeah, all right. And then they just walk off.
Yeah, where are we going for dinner?
Pretty much, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just been a straw. I mean, that's where you caught me today.
This is gonna shock you.
I bet.
But there have been some times in my life where I've said things that have had really adverse effects on people around me and myself, like really negative.
That is shocking, Steve.
Shocking.
I can't believe
and,
that.
Shit, I did it this morning. I literally did that this morning.
Nice.
Not terribly, but like, I woke up and I'm making breakfast for the girls, and it like literally is just one of those things where like it's kind of a ballet. Like there's things that need to happen. Like it's kind of a routine.
Yeah.
That I've honed over the last decade.
Right.
Like cooking breakfast and getting myself ready for work. Like it's a routine. And and I'm kind of good at it. I mean, I can have breakfast cooked, girls fed, cleaned up 20 minutes.
Wow.
I'm fed, I'm gone. Right.
Yeah.
And this morning, every single thing I touched, like I dropped it or spilt it, or like I just like the friggin' blender through the circuit, so I had to go out to the garage and flip the circuit. I mean, it was just And then for some reason, Sunny the pug, it turns out she's arthritic.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I've been kind of carrying her up and down the stairs to go out to the bathroom.
Yeah,
because the stairs are hard on her haunches, and
yeah.
And so this morning, for some dumbass reason, we got this big cup full of fruit smoothie, and I grabbed the dog, and I'm going down the stairs, and she kind of squirmed a little bit, and I dropped the cup of smoothie on the brand new carpet.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, no. And fortunately, because of the pug, I have one of those pet, like, a carpet cleaner deal and little green machine thing.
Yeah.
So by this time, I'm like, I need to just go back to bed. I need to cancel today because this is nothing as good has happened thus far.
Yeah.
And so I hear at the top of the stairs, this is right at the bottom of the stairs, and I hear at the top of the stairs, what happened? And I said, without looking up, I'll give you one guess. And then I realized, wait a minute, I just talked like that to my wife, who was just asking what happened.
Just wanted to know what happened, man.
But I mean, in my mind, it was not now.
DEFCON 5.
Well, I mean, I was already there, I'm being attacked. Yeah. I'm being attacked by the universe, and I don't need this shit right now. And it was literally just my loving wife saying, what happened? And so later I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it wasn't good,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like a small thing.
Yeah.
But I have also, just out of like, whether ignorance or just being an idiot, occasionally just said things kind of offhandedly, like legitimately really hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
With no intention of that.
Yep.
And sometimes in the moment, like, I'm kind of aware of it, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That was probably a really bad thing to say. And if they don't say anything, then I'm not going to say anything. And so we just let that relationship die. Well,
that's the bravery of this person, was like, hey, I need to take you. Can I take you to the mat on something you said earlier? And I was like, do you want to do that now or privately? And they were like, I'll just say it now. Like, it's not cool to say it.
And they weren't, it sounds like they weren't like attacking you. They were just saying, tell you how what you said has really affected me in a negative way, and you need to hear about it.
Yeah. And it's totally like, I don't know, man. And unpacking just something, it wasn't small, but it probably won't matter in a year,
Right.
But it's one of those things where it's like, like with the smoothie incident we were just talking about. If I look at where I was at spiritually, mentally, in my head at that moment, I was feeling very egocentric. I was feeling like what I had to say, everybody needed to listen to. Mm-hmm. I'm the end all be all expert. and I not that I can kind of say whatever I want, but I can say whatever I want because I know the context with which I'm talking, you know?
Yeah.
And then instantly I was like, I could have said that 20 different ways. I could have said that 20 different ways.
And the worst one came out.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I've done that. Hell, I've done that on this podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I know what I mean. And you pointed out, like, yeah, but there's some people in our dozens of listeners that might take that the wrong way.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's been a lesson, you know?
Very similar situation.
Uh-huh.
And it was one of those things where I feel awful, but at the same time, I feel like my intention was right and good. The context wasn't awful. It was not having the awareness that words and action, and not actions make sense, but words, even in the most earnest and good intention spaces, like words still affect people in different ways, you know, and phrases and things that you say and ways that you say them. And it's like, you know, I don't want to walk around on eggshells around everybody all the time, but you can't, but at the same time, like, yeah. So it's been eating my lunch all day.
Okay. So this segue / tangent makes sense in this context.
Give it to me.
How about season 6 of Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Because what you're saying about like the walking on eggshells things or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched, to our listeners, if you haven't watched season 6 of Better Call Saul, fast forward like 30 seconds or a minute, because there's going to be a spoiler here.
Yeah, go for it.
But when Kim goes to Florida,
yeah,
did you notice how completely agreeable she was? How indecisive and just kind of like,
yep.
I mean, they'd be like, well, what do you think, Kim? She's like, well, I don't really have an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Pretty much to everything.
Yeah.
She was just very
passive.
Very passive.
Which is not like her whole character arc.
100%. I mean, that was a very dramatic, intentional, like she went down there to be passive.
To survive.
Kind of, yeah. And that's all that's basically what she was doing.
Yeah, because she had a new boyfriend or whatever, and he was like, let's go here. And she's like, okay. What do you think about going there? That sounds fine. Yeah.
And the lovemaking scene was just hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh God, dude.
And you know, I mean, we're gonna go off on it. Yeah, the tangent's already been gone off on, but that season, I realized I thought I'd watched most of season 5. had not. So I went
back into season 5 and couldn't stop watching.
I did a whole bender. In fact, I tried to figure out how to stream season 6. But I couldn't find the first half, so I just bought the whole season. I just dropped $25.
That was money well spent.
Totally. But that, I mean, you know, and then I made the mistake of like, I'm gonna start Breaking Bad. So now I'm on season 2 of Breaking Bad, and it's like, what a collection of anti-heroes Vince Gilligan has created.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that, like, towards, you know, as I was watching that, because Saul, Jimmy, was like, there was a moral ambiguity there. Like, I was always rooting for Jimmy. Yeah. Even though, you know, he's, you know, slipping Jimmy. Right. And so there's kind of, you know, but towards the end, as it started to kind of come around the final turn of season 6, I was like, I don't know if I'm rooting for this guy anymore.
No, I was not. And I
was kind of like, wow, is this how this is going to end?
Well, because that's the thing about how brilliant that worked as a prequel, is that we know the final version of Saul Goodman. You know, we get the kind of after effects, but we know where he ends up and what he compromises to get what he wants.
Right.
And so it's like, but you're still sitting there like, is he going to take that job? Is he gonna?
Right. It took me, like, I had to kind of wrap, because it's not just a prequel, because it's also a post.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You definitely show how the transition to Saul Goodman, but then it ends at way after all that, way after Breaking Bad.
That's true.
It starts and ends way after Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, again, brilliant writing, but yeah, I mean, I was really sitting there second to last episode, maybe thinking, I don't have your back, dude.
No, I don't have, like, especially when
I'm kind of curious to see how this ends, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, when he's like, he can't give up. He can't give up the game.
Right.
I'm trying to be vague for anybody that still hasn't watched it. But when he, you see him making cinnamon rolls, just kind of living his protected life as a new identity. And then you see he's like,
you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah. I'm slipping Jimmy. Like that's who he is.
Right.
He can't let it go. And you're like, there's no way this is going to end well. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't.
But speaking of ending well, how about Carol Burnett?
Oh, what a delight to see her. She was awesome.
I saw that. I'm like, is that Carol Burnett?
Yeah, dude. They got Carol Burnett back on camera. Like,
she was amazing.
She was great.
She was amazing.
As everything that you know about Carol Burnett says, she is over the top. That was some subtle, nuanced acting. I mean,
it was actually acting.
Yeah, she was. Mm-hmm. It was really beautiful, and that's what made it great, because it's like, we know Carol Burnett can be over the top.
Yeah. But
this is something else. I mean, but it's, dude, like, I probably shouldn't. I mean, I binged season 5, season 6 Better Call Saul. I went right into season 1 of Breaking Bad. Finished that. I'm on like season 2, episode 3 of Breaking Bad. That's depressing. It's fucking depressing. Well,
and see that I don't need to watch Breaking Bad again.
Dude, that is so wise, because I'm sitting there watching an episode of, when they meet Tuco and all that. And Kirsten's like, I don't think you can watch this with me in the same room. I didn't realize how fucking brutally violent it is. Right.
And that's just it. Like, that's why I stopped watching it the first time.
Yeah.
And I did, obviously finish. I binged it to wrap up season 6 or whatever it was, but, which I'm glad I did, but I don't need to see it again. I had a similar experience with I watched Goodfellas again fairly recently.
Oh, yeah.
And then I listened to the audiobook, which I'd never done before. Mm-hmm. And I have a very different take on that whole situation, especially because I know the postscript, which is the Henry Hill ended up being just a total loser.
Yeah, right.
He ended up in North Platte, Nebraska, for God's sakes.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And just kind of, I'm like, this is kind of romanticized just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And and then I wonder if The Godfather stands up. So I watched the first Godfather. And that's still, that's a really good story.
It's a great story. It's a great movie. It's like a great film. Like,
yeah. Well, I know what started the whole thing is I was reading this book about it's called Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli. It's a book about the making of The Godfather.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of interesting. I kind of lost interest in it, but because it's just a lot of Hollywood gossip and stuff.
Yeah. And
I was like halfway through it. And I don't care about any of this. But anyway, so I watched The Godfather, and then that's like, and I thought that was good. It was worth watching again, and it's kind of a different movie every time,
Yeah.
And then so I watched Goodfellas again. And I was like, it was kind of fun, but I didn't like it. When it was over, I was kind of like, I don't like you.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, I have not revisited Breaking Bad since it ended, and I was really like, I kind of understood the anti-hero thing. I think at the same time I was watching Dexter, so there's kind of like this anti-hero. Why am I rooting for a murderer?
That's a 1-2 punch.
Oh, at that time it was dark.
I was watching the first 3 seasons of Dexter.
I was watching Dexter, I was watching Breaking Bad, and I was watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, good Lord. No wonder you're so messed up.
Yeah, that really, Kirsten talks about that time as, we were living in our apartment in South Lincoln, and she was like, you were not okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I'm just revisiting, like, I'm like, I know where Walter White ends up, and I can't believe I rooted for him. Like, they sucked me in.
Yeah.
You're rooting for him, like, get the money, pass it on to
Right.
your.
Yeah, you got cancer and you want to, you're getting screwed by the system. You got screwed by your buddy, and you should get somebody. You roll.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
break bad.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
there was a Reddit thread on what was it called? It was like what fictional characters are kind of idolized and romanticized that really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And Walter White was listed just like every other one was Walter White. People are like, totally. Why the fuck did we idolize that guy?
Yeah, dude. I mean, and hats off to Bryan Cranston, who,
oh my God.
I mean, he is amazing. He is every bit as good in the first few episodes as he is at the very end of that show.
Yep.
Like he
nailed it all the way through.
He nailed it from the top. Like he
didn't.
So
that part of Breaking Bad is great to watch.
But it's so visceral that like I as an actor who can kind of visualize all the camera crew and the boom mic and all of it around them, I'm just like sucked in. And that's mostly due to Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul.
I just watched him tonight in an episode of Seinfeld as Tim Watley.
Oh,
it's like, holy shit, that's Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. That's funny you say that, because I do that with music sometimes, especially the last few years.
What do you mean?
I can hear the production and kind of the, I used to live with a guy actually that ran a recording studio, and he said he didn't enjoy music anymore.
Really?
Yeah, because he knew too much about it.
I guess I get it. I can enjoy. I haven't worked on as many filmed things, although it's helpful in like moments of, like scary movies or like violence. I can, especially with Kirsten, I'm like, that was a really great blood pack. And, I can do that whole thing. Theater, though, is really hard for me to kind of suspend my disbelief or put down my ego and be like, it's rare, it's rare when I'm at the theater and can kind of let go of
just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. It's got to be really, I mean, not to be an asshole, but it's got to be really good. Like,
right.
Because it's, I can kind of see through it, and it's not enjoyable,
right. But it's a different thing. You're not a rube coming in for the show.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so my point was,
what's your point?
My point was that if you walk on eggshells around everybody all the time and try to not ever offend anybody ever, and that's like really kind of, then you end up being like Kim in Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a really great thing to remember, because like what I hear in that is like, no, my intention was not to be cruel or mean or hurtful. It means that I get to be a human being in the mix too. And like, yeah, it sucks to watch somebody get hurt by something you said, and you have tools to make it right if you need to. It sounds like I don't need to fawn anymore unless it, you know what I mean? Like that's my instinct, is to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, that's not the right energy either, know?
Yeah, that's not the right energy either.
But I'm in the,
you had the conversation. Mix. I'm assuming it was resolved.
Yeah, I think so.
Then you can just let it be resolved.
Right. Unless there's a, letter to the editor in the Journal Star, but nobody reads that. So I'm good.
Nobody reads it.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that perspective, because it's like, if not like, if you're not pissing somebody off, you're
fuck your feelings.
Yeah, that's not it. It's like, no,
different thing.
To be a human being out there in the world.
What kind of person puts a bumper sticker on their car that says "fuck your feelings"?
Somebody who really needs to keep shoving those feelings down.
Right. Yeah. Somebody fuck your feelings, because I haven't felt I'm afraid to feel my feelings.
Yeah, that's totally it. It's like, fuck your feelings, because I've had to, because of toxic coping mechanisms and conditioning, had to suppress my feelings since I was 3.
Yeah. Plus, this cognitive dissonance hurts so much.
That's why it's like I have to numb that out, because the amount of irony and cognitive dissonance within is deafening.
Deafening. Yes, fuck your feelings.
Feel your feelings. We should make a parody.
Feel your feelings.
Yeah, but like try to find something in the same vein as that lettering, like like.
Oh, like, that's great.
Like tap out lettering, or UFC lettering.
Yeah, with a Punisher logo at the end of it.
Punisher, but not the Punisher. Like, who could it be? Like,
I don't know.
Feel your feelings.
Wally.
Yeah. Did you say Wally?
Yeah. Or Baymax.
Yeah, Baymax or
Feel your feelings.
Feel your feelings. Feel your feelings.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh man. That is really like, yeah, that is.
I gotta get the merch manager on top of that.
A bumper sticker with really like
super macho. Yeah.
Masculine.
Yeah. Camo.
What about can it be like an eagle crying, like post 9/11, but it says feel your feelings?
God, oh my God.
Is that too much? Is that too intersectional?
I think so. Yeah, I think we need to find the Punisher thing.
The message might get confused.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I have a new mission. I have a new project to work on.
Dude, I'm very stoked. Yeah, like all the UFC lettering, or
all that. Yeah, something you can scream.
Feel your feelings. Fire in the background. Right. I don't put bumper stickers on my car. I would put that bumper sticker on my car.
If there was some way we could work the DE Guns logo into it.
Yeah.
With the automatic fucking rifle with the shell casings falling out of it, You
could put an AR-15 with a flower on in the barrel.
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know if I want any
gun iconography. Keep it simple. Really macho lettering.
Maybe like barbed wire around it.
That'd be
bordered by barbed wire.
Yeah.
Fire. Big like like die cut metal lettering. Like the Ford Tough lettering. Well, no, we wouldn't have to be die cut, but the image, the image is die, like the Ford Tough logo. Instead.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Feel your feelings.
Feel your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Oh my God. That's great.
Yeah, we're all just fucking bozos on this bus, man. I don't know.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like I don't want to learn. I have a hard time being a human that learns shit. It's like, how
I learn because I'm forced to, because I've done something incorrect.
That's where I'm at.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That is where I'm at.
Somebody tell me that I was wise the other day at work, and I'm like, no, that's not true. I've made all the wrong decisions. And have lived to tell about it.
A coworker said, I want to be Zen like Joel. I'm like, the only reason I'm Zen is out of pure like survival.
Right.
Like if I am Zen at all, it's because I've had to be Zen. Otherwise I was going to explode. So
right.
Out of necessity.
Yeah, that's real. I heard somebody tell me, this is years ago, like, the only reason you're doing this is to save your life. And I'm like, what other reason is there? Like,
and
right? I was like, what's your point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's actually 100% correct.
Yeah. Newsflash, I don't have instinctual virtues that cause me to take spiritual actions. I need a little heat.
I don't think that's entirely true.
I don't either. I've come to learn that. I've come to realize, and this is good for me to say right now on the record, that I do truly believe in that we are all inherently good. And I've said it before, and I need to be the first person to tell myself that sometimes. It's like, you're not a piece of shit, dude. Right. You just made a mistake. You said something fucked up, and you actually got lovingly called on it. And
right. That's like best case scenario, really.
Yeah. And I was able to not be like, fuck your feelings.
Right. Yeah, right. Because you could have done that in front of like 20 people.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where the desire though to preserve the ego and to not look like a fool is strong. It's like
Well, there's an
instinctual.
entire political party based on it.
Double down, baby.
Right. Just keep doubling down into the
We are
abyss.
domestic terrorists. You're absolutely right. Let's go.
Oh my God. I had something and it just left me. Oh, did I tell you that I'm kind of embarrassed? I'm not embarrassed, but I don't know that I would normally share this, but I'm gonna. What the hell?
Yeah.
I spent some money. I got sucked into a Facebook ad, is what it was.
Uh-oh.
I bought. Well, my older daughter's into. Has a really David Rose-esque skincare regimen.
Oh, wow.
And it's actually it's really cool. So I bought some disco stuff. Have you seen the disco ads on Facebook?
Disco?
Disco, like as in disco, like John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever disco. That's the name of the brand
of skincare products.
Men's skincare products. Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, I don't know anything about disco. Are they supporting the podcast now? Because I love disco products.
I love disco products.
Every time you say disco products, I think like bell bottoms and
no
platform shoes.
No, but it's like toner and a body wash and face mask, a mud mask.
Oh,
which I love, by the way.
I've done a face mask.
I love the face mask.
Okay.
And they had this little eye stick thing that theoretically is supposed to reduce the dark circles.
Yeah, Kirsten has these little sticker things that she's had me try.
Yeah, this is Gianna. My daughter has the sticker things, but this is it's like a little stick, and you kind of rub the stuff on the serum. It has caffeine in it. It's supposed to do wonderful things. I don't know. Frankly,
Is it weird though? Is it like weird packaging where it's like has to be super macho?
It's not super macho. It's very appropriate. It's not fuck your feelings macho. It's like very
fuck your feelings. I care circles. This is the you want the Let's Go Brandon mud mask for men.
Right. No, it looks more like if Apple made eye care product or skincare products. Yeah, very tasteful and expensive looking, which is good because they made me feel like I got some value out of it. But yeah, anyway, it's been kind of fun actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
good. I'm glad you're taking care of your skin, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck it. Take care of your skin.
I started I'm 50 years old and I started getting like an acne flare up and I'm like, okay, this sucks. I need to start taking care of my skin.
You know what though? This is going to be the most vulnerable I think I've ever been on this podcast.
That's saying something.
I know that's true. I sometimes like I don't watch pimple popping videos because I think I'd be into it. It's like that, like I kind of miss
right.
I miss those sad, lonely junior high nights.
Right.
Popping zits in the mirror.
Right. Thinking this is so fun, but it's so gross. And this is why I can't ask a girl out.
Totally. Like, this is why I can't even look at myself. I
was friends. Well, I was associated with a guy in high school who, or just out of high school, who like, if he had big plans for a night, if a pimple popped up on the evening of that night, he would cancel his plans and stay home.
Oh,
because he couldn't be seen like that.
Yeah.
And I was just pizza face. So I'm like, that's so weird, dude.
Yeah. Some people have real gnarly like body dysmorphia stuff when it comes to face. Yeah.
But I still have, that's why I tell my kids, I'm like, I hope that you got your mom's skin because mine sucks.
Your skin is beautiful, Steve.
After the Accutane, it was a lot better.
Accutane.
Oh, you don't know about Accutane?
I think I do.
This is a weird way to end the podcast, but I think they still make it, but it's for an acne treatment, and it basically destroys your skin and rebuilds it. Here's how funky Accutane is that if you're a guy and you're on an Accutane regimen and you get a girl pregnant, she has to abort the fetus because it'll be born horribly disfigured.
Oh my.
That's how powerful it is. And I'm not sure that it's prescribed.
Is it like anymore. A pill? It's like an oral pill?
Yeah, it's a pill.
Oh,
and you take
I was thinking it was
you take it for like 3 or 4 months. maybe even a little bit longer, but your skin gets all red, and because you're literally like sloughing off all your skin. I did it when I was like 25, probably, because I still had acne issues, and somebody recommended
that's a good idea.
It helped, it worked, but it's seriously bad juju.
Yeah, man, you're like radioactive.
It's pretty. Accutane was intense, man. It was intense. But it helped a lot.
I had some gnarly acne, and I had to use like special soap, and like I got those. It was like napalm Stridex pads.
Yeah,
you remember that? Yeah.
I still that's salicylic acid, and I still use that. I use salicylic acid and just a pad.
Do you buy just salicylic acid?
Yeah, it's Neutrogena, so it's shishi, but yeah.
Okay, well, I just remember
it's in the Stridex pads.
Okay, yeah. I just didn't know if you bought it in bulk like Walter White or something.
Yeah, funny.
Mixy.
I buy it in an 8-ounce bottle.
I don't know what you do.
For personal use.
You know all the actual names of medication, right? That's a
salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide.
I don't wash my face.
You should. It's good for you.
I don't like.
I'm now. My daughter sold me on the sunscreen on the face and neck.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't wear sunscreen on your face. She was like, actually, like, kind of annoyed / concerned that I didn't do that.
That's another facet of toxic masculinity bullshit. We should have been putting fucking at least 10 to 15 on our fucking bodies most of our lives.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, I was suntan king when I was a kid.
What do you mean? You had lots of lotion, or you were super?
No, I mean, like, bronze? I was just super bronze.
Yeah.
I lived at the pool, and I never put on sunscreen.
You're a little pool rat, just fucking
totally
orange.
That's how I spent my entire all summer.
I was a white sheet of copy paper most of
the time. Yeah. No, I was always really tan.
But then, or I'd be like apple red,
sure, yeah. There was one year here. I mean, I was probably like late 20s. I went to Woods Pool on my day off and fell asleep and woke up like 3 hours later. It was the worst pain I've ever been in.
None of the lifeguards like woke you up like, hey, man,
it's a public pool. It's Woods Pool. They're not, they're not looking for me. They're looking for people drowning.
That's true. I'd rather they focus on if kids are going to drown.
But I mean, I should have gone to the hospital because it was so hot. It was so hot. And for like 2 days, I couldn't sleep. It was awful. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, the point is like now at age 51, after a lifetime of it's fine, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I get a little burn. Yeah, well, now I'm wearing sunscreen on my face.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We should have been lubing up this whole time.
Yeah.
So wear sunscreen, everybody, even if it's a little 15. Just keep it.
Little sunscreen.
Skin is important.
Yep. So anyway, today's podcast is brought to you by Disco Men's Facial Skincare Products. So far, big fan.
Thank you, Disco. We really appreciate
Disco. I have a new lease on life.
What do you? I can't end the podcast this way. What are you listening to?
What am I listening to? I listened to something really interesting recently, and I have no memory, so I got to look it up.
I'll give you what I'm listening to.
Whatever. Oh, this morning I listened to the album Easter by Patti Smith.
Oh.
Which has the original version of Because the Night on it.
Because the Night, dude. That fucking song.
It's great. And just because last night I was flipping through YouTube and I ended up watching the last half of a Who concert, The Who, from 1975 at the Pontiac Silverdome in front of like 80,000 people.
75. What album is that?
Well, I don't remember. It's before
pre-Quadrophenia?
No, post-Quadrophenia. It was like Won't Get Fooled Again was the big.
So like Who's Next?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I don't know. I'm not a Who scholar, but whatever. It was like peak Roger Daltrey leather fringy vest, and the golden hair, him and Robert Plant must have been in a competition or something.
Oh, they totally were. And Robert Plant wins that every time, but holy shit, did he try?
Yeah. And then the John Bonham Keith Moon thing.
Yep.
I mean, the two bands on stage, you kind of indistinguishable in a way,
Oh, yeah. One was singing about dwarves and the Shire, and one wasn't.
Right. And the other one was thinking about, working man's blues and whatever.
Right.
But it was great. It was friggin' awesome. Keith
That's
Moon
awesome.
was in fine form, which was his last good tour.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was incendiary. Blew Francesca's mind.
Yeah.
Like she was engrossed.
That's raw fucking rock and roll power.
Oh yeah, it's maximum R&B.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't love Pete Townsend, and I think Keith Moon also falls in the category of people like it's really just kind of sad.
Super sad.
Yeah. But then seeing him do the Keith Moon thing in his prime, I was like, oh, like he's really fun, just totally insane.
He's animal.
Yes, he's animal. Yeah. Yeah. And and I mean, it was amazing. It was great. Like I was engrossed,
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, that was fun.
I've been listening to some Sunny Day Real Estate. I don't know if you know that band.
I know the name, but
they're kind of like they are the quintessential emo band, I think.
I'm out.
But I know. The reason I started listening to them again, because I saw that they're touring and they're coming to Omaha in December, and I'm like, I'm going. But the last time I saw them was at Knickerbocker's in like 2000.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was one of the best live concert experiences I've ever had in my life.
Okay, fine.
So I was like, do they have a new album out? Why are they touring? They don't. They're just touring again, and I'm stoked. I'm also I've got a weird, like, it's probably good I don't live in LA County because I might stalk this person. Johnny Pemberton is like my favorite comedian, content maker, podcaster.
Okay.
And I went down a rabbit hole of his, like, he's got a podcast now called Live to Tape. I highly recommend it. I will push it out there. But his old podcast, Twisting the Wind, this was like, I started listening to it like the first few episodes from like 2012. I got a real man crush on Johnny Pemberton.
Okay. He's the guy with the leather rose, right?
Yeah, he does the leather rose with Duncan Trussell, and he goes live on Twitch sometimes and just like does weird stuff and watches weird videos and comments on it. And he was a weird, very Ween reference, brown escape in the height of pandemic life for me on Twitch. Yeah. So.
Well, cool. Johnny Pemberton.
Yeah, Johnny P.
I
also known as Kevin Tipcorn.
I think past guest Jack Van Cleve and I are going to do a spin-off podcast or fire back up the old Grateful Dead podcast again.
So here's my recommendation with this, because he mentioned this last Friday. Are you going to do it a la Mystery Science Theater 3000?
I was thinking about that tonight. I was mowing my buddy's yard, and I was thinking about that. And I thought, here's the thing about that idea. While in theory it could be fun, what do I hate more than anything ever? What do I hate literally more than anything?
No, that's why I didn't want to.
More than anything ever is people talking while the Grateful Dead are playing. Shut the fuck up. So why would I make a podcast where that's the entire premise of it?
Because you're just leaning right in, you're diving right into the black hole. You're diving right to
what kind of sick, twisted person wants to listen to people talk over the dead?
I think you should try it. It'd be like Gandalf facing the Balrog, man. You're just diving into.
I don't even know what you just said.
Just going right into the belly of the beast.
Okay, release the Kraken.
Yeah. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And call it Shut the Fuck Up. The Jack and Steve Grateful Dead podcast.
Okay, that I can get behind. There, I'm in.
I'm an idea man. Man.
Shut the fuck up. The Jack and Steve.
STFUGD.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
Because
there's a sticker right there, man.
Jack and I can riff on that. Just pop in a show and just start talking.
Yeah, man. And have a Steely with the bone finger like this. Right in front of its mouth.
Gonna have to get my graphic design department on that.
I'd listen.
Okay, we'll think about it. That's so funny. I still have the account. Like it's still just floating out there.
Yeah, man. Do a one-off. See how it goes. Find a show that you could have a lot to say about and see how it goes.
I could talk about all the time.
Yeah.
I can just pick one at random.
Yeah. You got to pick one with a sunrise and a Donna and all of it.
Oh God, let's not start off like that. Let's not start off like this one's for you, Dave.
Yeah, man, just go for it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dive into exactly what you hate.
Okay, fine.
Ain't no time to hate, man. Just talk.
Fine. I love it. All right, man.
Well, I want to say one thing, and it's kind of sentimental.
Okay.
I really didn't want to do it because I was really in my brain, and I'm really glad we did this podcast. I really appreciate having you and all our dozens of listeners.
Sure, man. Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
we're all here for you, Joel.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's what it seems like lately.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-huh.
It'll be your turn to be in the barrel next time.
That's what I'm saying. I'll look forward to it. All right, man. Love you.
All right. Love you too.
Later.
Next time you see me, things won't be the same. Next time you see me, things won't be the same. If it hurts you, my darling, you only got yourself to blame. Well, it's a true saying, all that shine and not gold. It's a true saying, all that shine and not gold. Like the good book say, you got to read with just the words you sow. Or where you lied, cheated, whoa, for so long. Whoa, for so long. You were wrong, doing more than another queen is on your throne. If it hurts you, my darling, you only got yourself to blame. It's a true, true saying, all that shine is not gold. No, not. It's a true, true saying, all that shine is not gold. Like the good book say, you got to read just the words you sold. Thank you.
Don't forget, toot your hooter.